Hi, today it's cabbage rolls. I like to use regular ground round mixed with a pork ground round. So I'll show you how I do that. There's a head of cabbage, a cup of rice, a cup or two of onions, garlic cloves, salt and pepper, Worcestershire sauce. I use the jarred sauerkraut because we're going to heat this and it's going to take away from the probiotics of the sauerkraut that I make myself. Some paprika, tomato paste. That's a pretty basic recipe, not a lot of ingredients. I cut the large package of meat in half. In my large bowl, I am going to add 2 cups of sauerkraut. A half a cup of water, which is going to help with cooking the rice, and my onions and garlic, the recipe calls for 4 tablespoons of paprika, so a generous sprinkling of paprika, a little bit of salt, sprinkle of pepper, and lots of Worcestershire sauce. I like the flavor that this sauce lends to this recipe. And then mix to your heart's content. Oh, I forgot the rice, sorry. 1 cup of rice. I have an awful lot of meat here, so what I do with this is I have a second recipe that I make with the rest of the meat after I've used up my head of cabbage. And I will probably be posting that as well. It was a fluke that I came up with the recipe. I also used the Instapot for it. And it's just, it's like a meatloaf, but it's a meal and all at the same time. So when I cook, you might have noticed I cook big. I sort of like to cook and then coast. So you just keep mixing it till everything is well incorporated. While I've been prepping the meat and getting ready to prep the cabbage, I'm heating a very large pot of hot filtered water for the next step after preparing the cabbage. And you take your big knife and cut the bottom off and peel off the outside edges of the cabbage. They're limp and dirty, and get down to the usable part of the cabbage. The other part we have to do is we want to take a paring knife and on an angle make some cuts. Okay, be careful. Make some cuts around the core. And you want the cuts to adjoin, because the whole point of this is to try and get the core out. There we go. Okay, so the core of the cabbage is out. I line the bottom of the Instapot with some of the smaller leaves. Oh, there we go. And then I put in a layer of sauerkraut. And believe it or not, I love getting to the bottom of this pot and eating the juices and the left at the bottom of the pot. Cut the rib out or the spine. Okay, meat. Fold the bottom, start bringing it over. Fold the top, fold this in, and voila, you have a cabbage roll. Both ends closed. So I now have a layer of cabbage rolls. So the tomato paste, I have cut the bottom part off each end, pushing, oh sure. Pushing the top through clears out the can. I'm going to take the bottom of my spoon and just sort of scrape over some tomato paste on a layer, on the layer of cabbage rolls that are there. And then I'm going to salt and pepper. Just a quick salt and a quick pepper. And then I'm going to add another layer of cabbage rolls. When placing the cabbage rolls in the pot, I go one way, and now I'm going the other way. Last layer of cabbage rolls, I'm going to use up the last of the tomato paste. And I use the back of the spoon to get it into place. Little more salt and pepper. Cabbage rolls into the Instapot. Lid locked. Valve back to the back of the wall. Manual. On. High pressure. Set it and forget it. Come back and we'll have cabbage rolls. There you go. Cabbage rolls.